working to defeat crime and make neighborhoods safer. I'm Peter Carl, and this is Chicago Crime Watch. City, police, and faith leaders are proposing answers and seeking community support following a rash of violence against Chicago students.
When you kill our children, you are an enemy to the community.
That gun lives longer than your child. The life of a gun, the value lives longer than your child.
Children should not be getting killed.
Right.
It should not be happening.
It has happened 18 times so far this year, and the community is saying enough is enough. In the future, should a young Chicagoan be killed by gunfire, Father Pfleger is urging Chicagoans gather and rally at 11 a.m. the next day at the State of Illinois building to demand lawmakers adopt new common-sense gun legislation to help stop the violence.
We've got to do more than we're doing right now to stop the violence in the city of Chicago and country, the whole country of America. We've got to get guns out of our neighborhoods and make our lives safe for our children.
A new Save Our Children reward fund is in place. Every time a child is killed, a $5,000 reward will be given to help catch the killer or killers.
What we have to do is make sure that every child's life is seen as the same value throughout the city of Chicago.
Superintendent of Police Jody Weiss announced that 50 police officers will move from their desks to troubled schools, and that more tactical response units will be deployed to troubled schools where known problems exist, such as gang retaliation and other gang violence.
When we join together, our voices are a lot stronger than any individual can shout. Our goal is to raise the awareness in every community. Guns are dangerous weapons with deadly consequences.
It's amazing how many guns are out there. That is a frightening thing. It's at about time that society says, just like smoking, enough is enough. We don't want any more guns.
And while the push continues for new laws, Chicago police are reinforcing their mission to get illegal guns off the street. It was a message repeated over and over again during a prayer vigil for a recent 15-year-old victim.
One grieving family is one family too many, and this cannot be tolerated in this day and time. We're here to reaffirm that we're going to stand with you and work with our community, especially through CAPS. It works to get these guns off the street.
First Deputy Superintendent James Jackson joined with community members and religious leaders for a prayer vigil in the Austin neighborhood. 15-year-old Khadidra Marsh was shot to death while walking in the 800 block of North Waller with her sisters.
We all know that it was a terrible tragedy to lose a young girl, 15 years of age, to senseless handgun violence.
Yes. We're here to say enough is enough.
That's right.
We should be standing here announcing that Khadijah will be getting a $10,000 scholarship. She's on her way to college. But we're here to say that we have to in turn take that money and bury her.
A mother who knows all too well the pain of burying a child is Denise Reed. Her daughter, Starkeisha, was killed 2 years ago by a stray bullet while looking out her window.
When we have children, we never imagine that they're going to be cut down at 14, 15 due to gun violence. You do all that you can as a parent to make sure that they have the proper vitamins, they go to bed on time, they do their homework, and all of these other things, but you don't think that they're going to be caught up in gun violence.
Where's your chest?
Following the program at the church, Khadidra Marsh's family walked with the group around the corner to the spot where the Orr High School student was shot. Along the way, Reverend Joseph Kiles had a message about gun legislation for the southern counties in the state.
Common sense gun legislation. While they want the right to hunt, our children are being hunted. All we're asking is that they change the law, that's all. It's nothing hard, nothing difficult. You would hate to have to be in this woman's shoes. Anybody.
A personal dispute allegedly led to the shooting. The offender, 20-year-old Tanal Tyson, turned herself in to police after reaching out to a West Side pastor.
She was very, very distraught and apparently very remorseful for whatever had transpired.
First Deputy Superintendent Jackson says situations like this cannot be tolerated. He says in order to get the illegal guns off the street, To improve the quality of life for all residents in Chicago, everyone must work together.
Our intent is to get these guns off the street, and we can do this by working together. Again, we're going to be here with you, and we're going to take our community back.
The offender has been charged with first-degree murder. And city leaders are advancing a greater use of technology to help improve safety in and around Chicago schools. More than 4,500 cameras in schools are being connected to police headquarters and the city's 911 center. In an emergency, responding officers will be able to view real-time images on squad car screens.
When fully implemented over the next few months, we'll have a comprehensive school security system that will make it easier for us to respond more quickly and effectively to any emergency at a school building.
If we can place cameras in communities to monitor drug corners and dangerous offenders, then we can place them inside and outside of the schools for the safety of our students.
About 1/3 of Chicago's public schools have cameras, including all high schools and administrative buildings. In every Chicago community, on blocks across the city, there are countless individuals working hard to make our community safe. What can we learn from these special Chicagoans? What can they teach us about the importance of commitment? Today we look at the Pilsen neighborhood through the eyes of community leader Alvaro Obregon.
I was born and raised here in the Pilsen community. I often tell people I choose to live and work here in the Pilsen community as well. It's where I was born, it's where my passion is. This is where I belong. I am the New Communities Program Director at the Resurrection Project. And my particular job is I work and manage what is called the Quality of Life Plan here in the Pilsen community.
How are these the Resurrection homes going?
As far as sales, we're trying to push them
the
along.
outreach and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, my role in that Quality of Life Plan was really convening different organizations, different people who have played a pivotal role here in the Pilsen community, and really starting a dialogue that for the first time, people who had never worked together were finally working together, and that's something that I take great pride in. I love kids, and that's one of the reasons why I work with a lot of youth in the community, especially through the Resurrection Basketball League.
Get out the street, guys.
A lot of people say, take the kids off the street. My approach is completely different because I don't believe that you should take kids off the street. I think you should take the problems off of the street. And you should keep the kids on the street because, these streets belong to the kids and they belong to families. I don't see, the youth in Pilsen as, that kid. I see them as the future leaders. And then I have a responsibility to mentor those kids, to be a part of their lives. I talk to a lot of the business leaders and business community because one of the things that we're trying to do is how do we help keep Pilsen a vibrant community? Being one of the people who work in the community in a comprehensive way, I think it's really important not only to work with them, but for them to really trust you and feel that this person is really on my side. I would tell people to get involved in their community because it's important. It's easy to run from problems. It's easy to run from issues. But if you run, you're going to live your life running. You're always going to run away from something.
Well, here in the Pilsen community, we're very happy that we had some statues donated by the Mexican government, and personally, it's kind of nice for me too because on my father's side, we come from the same Obregons as one of those statues, and I'm named after him, Alvaro Obregon.
Alvaro says his father was very involved in their community, leading a registration drive for thousands of new Latino voters back in the 60s. A father's work inspired a son who has devoted his life to bettering the Pilsen community. That's the latest from the CrimeWatch News Team. I'm Peter Carl. Thanks for watching.